One of the beautiful things going on now that I realized was the big deal about what people, the Christians who I was listened to, and they started criticizing, especially the movement, the term conservative, and something that definitely kept coming up was self-interest. That the conservatives often would get caught up in things that were obviously about their self-interest. It jived loosely politically, but really it's about their self-interest. So people like McCain and McConnell and Romney, they've all been drummed out of the party. Paul Ryan? Is he any? Where's he at? Like all these people that they're just gone. They're gone. We won't let them show up to things. Nobody wants to see them because now it's about the United States of America. It's not about the conservative movement, whatever that was. So I had to take it to heart. I had to say, this is going to hit a spiritual level. I have to know my misfortune, my time of disaster will come. I am being told, for a reason, like Noah, build an ark, to prepare now. Get to go back to work. That was, I could see the trap. Fate versus destiny. Prepare. Get prepared. So you all saw bags of spices. There's more to my plan. I'm making sure I have another 3 months stores just in case. A few other things I have to get, but those will be easier to obtain. So, preparing. And the reason why is what just happened over the last few days, where now California, it's like, whoa, oh no, we were totally crazy and letting anybody do anything, so now we're going to shut down again. Oh, this is just so terrible. All the women, they're so afraid. Be afraid, women, because you're not really thinking about any of the mathematics around this. The 99% recovery rate. In fact, this is almost killing entirely old people in nursing homes, meaning that actually people are spreading the disease into nursing homes without really thinking through what to do about this. Nursing homes also, this shows again, nursing homes don't really have the kind of staffing or ability to keep people safe from novel pathogens. This shows that people don't understand what a micron is, and they're wearing these cloth masks. They might as well wear, really, they might as well wear. There was somebody who had something totally kooky on, and it was really great. More and more people are wearing just the face shield. I love it. I love that they're doing that. They're just wearing the face shield, which, it's so, it could catch in all the mucous membranes. This is why this is about face discipline. This would be about being in a filtered indoor environment. This is all stuff that it's like, no, obviously none of these people took like a biology class, a human bio class. Like they're not using terminology that would show like this is how it spreads. This is what to avoid. And that you have to wear these masks, and there's nothing about that, nothing that makes that make sense. It's anti-scientific. It's actually anti-scientific. It's so women can talk to each other about each other's masks. It really is. It really is so that women can compare masks, like lipstick holders. This is just. If you can't have Contempo open so that women can burn money, you've got to let them burn money some other way. And now it's the thing now. So with California, we're seeing that now everywhere. All the communists are making it clear, no, we have to hire twice as many people at schools so that they're super safe, and nobody could go to private school, and there can be no police, and the teachers unions now, they're throwing all kinds of their kook ball demands out everywhere. And so this is my thing, is because of kind of my wicked part of me, I just giggle. I'm just giggling. The Aaron Clarey part, the part with brass and silver, it's that I had to sit back and go, no. At some point, this is going to mess directly with you. And you have to be prepared. The ending of like just people being able to be like outdoors without a mask on in Oregon, an entirely unenforceable, totally preposterous rule. And really, like, I mean, it is absolutely anti-scientific, because nobody has, those masks are useless outdoors within like 20 minutes. All masks are useless within 20 minutes out of doors, because of the ambient moisture in the air, and it's just useless, totally useless. They only make sense in a medical facility. That's why people wear them in medical facilities. So I'm just going to enjoy. The thing about the West Coast is that the only reason living on the West Coast is that you can enjoy being outside and talking to people and socializing. That's almost the only good thing about it. So I'm like, great, live in misery, you idiots. Like for me, it's like I'm a bachelor. I don't do a whole lot. So for me, it's like, well, I got the YouTubes, I got my weights, I got my, I could entertain myself. I can entertain myself. I just, but for a lot of people, it's like, why are you, yeah, all right, make women's lives on the West Coast even more miserable. There you go. That's, and at no point is anybody going to, like, put the actual numbers together and figure out, like, no, none of this is based around science. None of this at all is based around science. Everybody is just trying to cover up the fact that the places that this is broke out in China, where so many people got infected, was packed full of old people, and packed full of people, and so packed full of people that it was almost like nighttime. Like the streets would be cold in the middle of the day because the blocking out of the sun by the height of the buildings. Like, mega cities are why this got so bad. It got to America, hit a country mostly of suburbs and exurbs, and it just couldn't be that terrible to people, because people lived in an environment where they were fundamentally more healthy. And that's what's getting everyone. No one wants to deal with that. That America is so awesome to live in. You can get a disease here that all over in other parts of the world will kill you. But here, it barely touches the population. I mean, really, that's what's getting people. And that then there's all these other parts of the developing world that it must be there, but there's just they're not stacking up the bodies like cordwood. Even our homeless are not dying. Our homeless aren't dying. Our homeless we have a very large portion of our homeless are old, and they're not dying. They haven't been exposed at all. Aren't they out of doors without masks on? Terp, so much science. I went to college, and like, you need to read a book. You need to read a book, sir. Actually, I'm loving this. I'm just loving this. Just watching now, where it's just like, yep, and like now it's just, yeah. The thing about the left, they think too much of themselves. At its fundament, they take themselves too damn serious now. That's all the key thing is. It's just like how the ancient Christian fathers found in pride. The Buddhists said ego, we say pride. Can't have one without the other. Because the cart, the horse, what we're talking about is the karma that's loaded up on it, and so it's just going to be great where these people let lawlessness occur. They're desperately trying to hide illegals all over Oregon still. This is a big reason why actually Oregon is doing what it's doing. It's actually trying to hide illegal immigrants. That's my theory. They know if people have to get their licenses, if people have to get their state IDs, because it's the new ID this year or whatever, real ID. If people start getting their real IDs, then suddenly Oregon won't have lots of illegal immigrants to steal votes. That's my theory right now, and all over the West Coast, I think this is true. I think the West Coast has a real problem with the sanctuary issue, and that really a big thing is that if the federal government were like, we need people to get their IDs renewed. Like, you have to figure this out. Like, this is actually both a local, state, and federal issue. Is the real ID issue and identification and people being able to do normal things because they'll be asked for current identification. And so the system does actually still have to work. And I'm just loving that now. What we're seeing is we're really seeing everything argued by Turd Flinging Monkey, the MGTOW community, people like Aaron Clarey. We're seeing it all proven out in spades now. This is the best part of it all that really the left doesn't get, is that there's no critics of what the right says. This is why so many people on the right have to be banned. This is why specifically Stefan Molyneux had to be banned. It's because it would have been obvious. Everything, he's explained all of this. He's explained exactly what these people's problems are. And so this is just, to me, I'm just kind of giggling, but it's also that in my mind, I'm like, no. You're giggling because you're prepared for all of this to fall apart. Because there's only going to be so long that people can keep living like this. There's already the supposedly the bread lines are forming, and so there's only so long that this can keep going. And my whole thing, I'm just like, okay, stay miserable. I've done what it takes to stay happy, and looked at my budget and everything, and so it's like, yeah, I'll be entertaining myself. Other people will be setting their goals back months and months and months. And so really, it's one of these things of Democrats on the West Coast better hope to God that Trump wins and gets stuff rolling again and fights your governors, because your governors are really a bunch of rich incompetents, mostly from broken homes. Like, overwhelmingly, like the Democratic, something about the leadership of the Democratic Party are overwhelmingly people with weird backgrounds of broken homes, failing upwards, and being actually endowed with wealth from their youth, like big time wealth. Like De Blasio is super fucking elite. And both Gavin Newsom and De Blasio are both elite little bitches, with total broken home, I need a daddy syndrome kind of thing. It makes a lot of sense once you can kind of, experience gets you to be able to pick some of this stuff out after a while too. Like, oh, this would be why they attract. They're good at playing this kind of voter. That makes sense. Yeah, because that's who they would have had to. Yeah, that's who they would have had to have a kinship with in their youth. And yeah, got it. So, all right, later.